You strong.
When the two of them walked out, Shin Young-suk panicked and asked him, the participant Kim SeoJoon, where he was going. Then he noticed that both Kim SeoJoon and Lee So-yeon were injured, and asked in fear, "No, what's going on? Are you two okay? Did something happen inside?" Kim SeoJoon did not answer his question. Saving people is the most important thing. I will explain later. First of all, can you call the medical staff for me, as you see, here? Shin Young-suk asked his colleagues, "Hey, quickly call the medical staff here. It's an emergency situation. Only now can Kim SeoJoon rest assured." Lee So-yeon lay on the grass, still arrogantly saying, "I absolutely will not think of you as my benefactor." Lee So-yeon continued, even thinking that he was wrong. Kim SeoJoon didn't care what she said, calmly replied, "You can think freely. I didn't come to help because I expected something wrong." "Anything from you?" Someone screamed in fear. "How could this happen? We had to quickly take her to the hospital right away." What happened at the Dongwon sweeper competition was announced, and within a short time there was another riot here. 6-star monster appears in 2-star Dongwon, Nerkura. Although the pastime has not been without measurement errors, there has never been such a large difference in monster levels. This case has climbed to the top of hot searches. Of course, public attention will focus on associations and the government. "Everyone is discussing about you, Kim SeoJoon. This is the first time I heard this name. Did this student deal with Nerkura?" When other people heard this news, they couldn't believe it and exclaimed, "Wow, how could a student catch a Nerkura? Do you know which Hunter Academy he came from?" Someone wondered, Dream Hunter Academy? Next to Kalia, the person wearing a black cloak informed her that the Apostle of Chastity was looking for Mr. Kalia. Kalia asked again, "Are you the Apostle of Chastity?" That person continued to say, perhaps it was because of the disturbance that occurred in Korea this time. At Park Min-chul's side, his niece excitedly announced, "Grandpa, I heard that the student handling the menu this time is a student at SeoJoon Academy." She asked incredulously, "Is this true?" Park Min-chul turned his back to the girl, clasped his hands behind his back and replied, "If you hate that name, then yes." The little girl wondered inexplicably, what an obnoxious name. After Kim SeoJoon arrived at the hospital, he regretfully lamented, his money. Man-chul was peeling apples next to him and asked, "Why, now that I think about it, do I feel sorry?" Kim SeoJoon angrily replied, "I'm sorry, I originally won." He was still very angry and continued, "What's the point of winning together? Moreover, the prize money is divided in half, isn't this too much?" While complaining to Man-chul, he finished peeling the apple plate, and after putting it on the table, Man-chul didn't know how to handle it. He said, "So why did he show up? Can you think of a plan? Or we can play rock, paper, scissors to win the prize, or we can play muck, po with both hands." This suggestion is quite inhumane because Lee So-yeon lost a wing after this incident. Hands. Man-chul dismissed this shameless proposal. He countered, "Muck po with 2 hands. She lost her right hand due to this incident." Kim SeoJoon's face was very serious, admitting, "That's right." Man-chul was shocked by this innocent face and said such shameless words, "Wow, you're so crazy about money that even your humanity has deteriorated." "Okay?" Kim SeoJoon thought of another game. If that didn't work, how about playing potatoes, sprouting, growing leaves? He silently speculated, she probably doesn't know this game. While the two were discussing, Park So-eun walked in and said, "I'm here." Man-chul scolded him, "What a psychopath. If so, why would he even save people? What a character." Kim SeoJoon scratched his head, scratched his ears and shouted, You don't know either." Park So-eun asked Man-chul in confusion, "What's wrong with him?" Man-chul replied, "Don't care, and I'm feeling sorry. You have to split the reward in half." Hearing that, Park So-eun was a bit confused. She questioned and said, "Yes, why split the prize in half? He alone won." Both Uncle Man-chul and Kim SeoJoon were both surprised by that statement. Man-chul asked again, whatever she said, even he didn't believe it. "Yes." Park So-eun continued to say, "Lee So-yeon gave up her position herself. She said shocking information. Not only that, including this competition, she needs to reveal a lot of cheating that she did. What she did in the past. She also denounced the brutal behavior of the principal of East Academy, her father, Lee Sok-man." Park So-eun continued, "An investigation is underway right now. Haven't you seen the news? The news that Lee Sok-man was surrounded by reporters asking questions?" He angrily replied, I said I don't know. They still don't give up. Is that true?" Kim SeoJoon remembered what she said that day. Thinking that he was wrong and would not change, Kim SeoJoon secretly thought, did Lee So-yeon do something like that? Why did she suddenly do that? Park Seo-yeon was also quite surprised, saying, I thought maybe she had something else planned, but Lee So-yeon told me this. Park Seo-yeon recounted the conversation that day. Lee So-yeon said, in the end, Kim SeoJoon was wrong and it hasn't changed. She still had an expressionless face and continued to apologize to herself. However, I just thought I was wrong. Park Seo-yeon sighed helplessly, but I didn't understand what she was saying. Kim SeoJoon was a bit surprised to hear her say that. Park Seo-yeon put his hands on his hands and happily said, after all, SeoJoon won the award alone. In addition, the government has proposed additional incentives, which SeoJoon will receive due to their responsibility, related to coming to this incident. If we talk about the most important thing then. Park Seo-yeon talked about the incentives Kim SeoJoon received, tax exemption on bonuses and an additional 100 million. Kim SeoJoon couldn't believe his ears, excitedly asked again, an additional 100 million bonus. Park Seo-yeon admitted, yes, actually, it was said to be a bonus, but this is compensation for damages. Kim SeoJoon then got a little scared and calculated the bonus. How much is 100 million more? 400 million, Park Seo-yeon announced another important thing. And there was one more important thing, our Dream Academy is finally here. Has also risen to the 3rd position. She was very excited when the Academy rose from Part 4 to Part 3. When Kim SeoJoon heard this news, his mood became even more excited. Yes, is that true? Only Man-chul did not understand what they were talking about. What? Park Seo-yeon admitted, yes, thanks to this victory, has qualified as an evaluation factor, according to which, although there are many enhanced powers, the most important thing for SeoJoon is that he being able to explore the 4-star Donggon. Kim SeoJoon happily thought to himself, in the last competition, I was forever worried about the prize and promotion to level 3. He happily exclaimed, that's great. Park Seo-yeon was also in an equally happy mood. It was all thanks to you SeoJoon, really thank you. Kim SeoJoon smiled brightly and continued, now you have to start accepting new students besides me. Man-chul had been silent all this while letting the two young people talk. Now he asked Kim SeoJoon, in short, was the matter resolved well? He smiled brightly and still did not forget to joke, yes, it seems there is no need to play Mukjipa again. After receiving the award, Kim SeoJoon generously suggested, is it already this time? What do you want to eat? I invite. Man-chul's mood also lifted after hard days. Receiving the reward is great. Humanity is back. I just need expensive things. Seo-yeon, what do you want to eat? Park Seo-yeon said what he wanted to eat. I want to eat sushi. Kim SeoJoon also agreed with them. Sushi is okay. He sat on the hospital bed, mumbling excitedly, okay, the money problem was solved, and he had enough to eat. He closed his eyes slightly and said to himself, then now. Kim SeoJoon decided, let's do a little shopping. He opened a website, a fake super shop, selling training equipment for admitted students. Kim SeoJoon sat on the hospital bed, checked his account. He muttered to himself, first there is 4 billion. Kim SeoJoon checked the price of the spear he was planning to buy. The price of the Longinus spear was 1 billion. He secretly speculated, the problem is that he doesn't know if the price will continue to decrease or not. After the event ends, it will be adjusted back to normal, at which time the price will probably increase. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, no matter how much I save up, I still won't be able to spend enough, but he still felt a bit regretful, saving it up would still be the same. Kim SeoJoon was helpless to think of another plan, so he tried to save money to buy more cheap equipment. He added some products, imitations, Kestos Hamas, Aphrodite's belt, which if used can attract the opposite sex. Another item was a fake Kestos Hamas, the rope used to tie up Fenrir, made from 7 materials that were not real in the world, a rope that could not be cut by anything. Kim SeoJoon secretly exclaimed, it seems like Longinus spear is the best. He thought a bit but in the end decided what to buy. He must buy it. Kim SeoJoon remembers the times before, when he liked something, he tried to buy it, but if he bought something random, he would regret spending money. Kim SeoJoon silently calculated that items worth hundreds of billions while fake products cost only 1 to 2 billion, even if they are not real, they probably still have certain uses. He secretly speculated that every time he bought an item, the cause and effect would be adjusted, and it was possible that the price would increase very high. Kim SeoJoon was quite hesitant and thinking, maybe it wasn't like that, but it wouldn't be too much to be careful. Kim SeoJoon secretly thought about the inadequacies of the store. Moreover, the store did not explain much about the items, so one could only roughly guess the effectiveness based on the content and the myth. Kim SeoJoon crossed his arms, his mood became worse. After all, these things are not in myths, or because I don't know, I can't guess how real their uses are. He is helpless. I thought to myself, who knows, I don't have much information to learn the mythology of each object. Kim SeoJoon realized something. He asked himself, has anyone in the community used that item? Community of students at the Ultimate Academy. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, although he doesn't have an account, so he can't post or comment, but he can still read topics of interest, but he still has doubts in his heart. Really, why can't I create an account? If the advisor comes, I have to ask. On the forum, people post, if someone uses an item, then why not post it for everyone to know? Another post is, personal recommendation after using 100 items of equipment in the store. Other people also post up, it's not an advertisement, I've actually used it. Kim SeoJoon decided to choose the article, personal recommendation after using 100 items of equipment at the store. The other person wrote, experience has used some kettle equipment at the superstore. There are probably many of you. You're wondering which item to choose, right? If you choose the wrong one, you'll just be angry and buy it again, so I'll leave 100 items that I've used before. You can rely on that. Whether that item is suitable for me or not, the items I use are all very durable equipment. I have evaluated based on many different factors, such as convenience, durability, compatibility, etc. and rated 10. Kim SeoJoon was excited and couldn't believe his eyes. He had already used 100 items. The first thing the other person introduced was, 1. Aegis' shield. It can also be called Aegis' shield. It's a trash item, don't take it, ignore its rather poor blocking effect. Then the decorative head on the shield is a Medusa, it's just to make it more beautiful. The other person introduced its function. The effect of this item is to redirect the attack to the opponent. It seems that it can be used, but the problem is that it is very difficult to time the magic shots to you. You have to be extremely precise to be able to counterattack. They rated Aegis' shield as complete garbage, so I give it 2 points out of 10. If you use it as a gift for a friend, it's a perfect 10. Kim SeoJoon lay on the bed. He exclaimed, this person really bought 100 items, he couldn't keep them all. After browsing for a while, there was an item that interested him, 87, space bag. This bag goes without saying, I wrote these lines to recommend this item. Kim SeoJoon read with wide eyes. The writer introduces, some people do not know this item. If the introduction is simple, this is a space bag used to store items. When placed in it, the item seemed to shrink. That person evaluated the product. I thought that instead of gathering the karma and buying it at a high price later, it would be more profitable to buy it now. After using it directly, I felt that because it is also made of adamantium, so the durability is very high. The writer's shortcomings and weaknesses are that, because it is a restored item, the weight is not completely reduced. It is estimated that the weight is only reduced by about 70%, and the space in the bag is not as large as expected. He rated it, I gave it 10 out of 10 because this is a good value for money. Kim SeoJoon felt interested and jumped up, wondering, space bag. He remembered its origin, perhaps it was an item of the mythological goddess Hera, which the hero Perseus used to hold Medusa's head. Kim SeoJoon wondered how much it cost. How much was it? On the store page, Space Pocket is calculating the law of cause and effect and planning the appropriate price. Computing system, counterfeit goods, space bag, 100 million won. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, wow, that's worth buying. He thought about the future, well, if I had it, it would be fine. When I go to a dungeon, I can use it to store the corpses of monsters. He suddenly stood still as if he was thinking about something. Kim SeoJoon thought excitedly, if he went bush, he would save space. The notification system said, unfortunately it couldn't completely reduce weight. Kim SeoJoon thought about how to use it. If he went on a quest, it would be great. Putting it all in his pocket would make him strong. He could go long distances without having to carry heavy things. He decided to buy it. 3 days later, Kim SeoJoon received Longinus's spear. He exclaimed, wow, seeing it with his own eyes, it was so terrible. On his side is now a space bag. Kim SeoJoon muttered to himself, I have to confirm the features of this bag, but it looks quite good on the outside. He cried without tears, silently exclaiming, but his account was free again. Kim SeoJoon secretly hoping this bag would be useful, and the account containing 4 billion was already empty. Kim SeoJoon sighed, calmed himself down, anyway, I already bought it, I can save the money later. Park Seo-yeon went to call him, SeoJoon. She was a little panicked and asked, I just got out of the hospital, but you want to go to the dungeon again, why don't you rest? Kim SeoJoon replied calmly, what's the point of resting if I'm fine? Go find it. Just money. Park Seo-yeon was a bit confused and said, This time you received a bonus, Kim SeoJoon slowly replied. I spent it all. Park SeoJoon couldn't believe her ears, screaming loudly, "Ha, you spent it all and there's a surplus," she stammered. 4 billion, finally. Park SeoJoon saw that he was holding a spear in his hand. She thought to herself, looking at it, she knew she had bought new equipment. Park SeoJoon was speechless and asked, you really want to try it? And he looked very excited and smiled. Park SeoJoon silently exclaimed, when I said I would buy it for you, I wasn't excited. She helplessly exclaimed, I can't say anything either. A moment later, the two went into the dungeon. Park SeoJoon reminded her, be careful, if it's dangerous, I'll help you, but I'm not sure what will happen. In front of them were statues of bats. They looked very aggressive, opening their mouths wide and looking forward. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, gargoyle, speaking of the monster's defense ability here, it's level 4, right? Then he quickly rushed up to them. Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, it's the ideal thing for me to try on Longinus's spear. He swung his spear at them. Kim SeoJoon thought about their characteristics, they were simply monsters with physical attack and high defense. The bat's eyes suddenly turned red, its mouth opened wide and screamed. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, a gargoyle with good physical defense is truly an object for the Longinus's spear to test. The monster was a little scared when his spear passed through it. Soon it was divided into half. The power of this weapon made Kim SeoJoon and Park SeoJoon stunned on the spot. Both were surprised and exclaimed, ah. Park SeoJoon still said in disbelief, and he confusedly pointed at the bat, asking her, why is it like this? Park SeoJoon looked stupid, wondering, why did you ask me? The look on her face at that time, completely unexpected. Park SeoJoon exclaimed, it was quite a surprise. Kim SeoJoon still tried to attack those bats. Park SeoJoon silently wondered, why do gargoyles cut like tofu? These days, gargoyles are made from soybeans. After finishing cutting them all, he said, that's quite a lot, let's see if we can use this bag. Park SeoJoon also noticed his actions. She stared at the bag, she thought to herself, that bag. She still didn't understand and was a bit surprised. It seemed like it was only as small as 2 fists and contained something, but right after that, Park SeoJoon was so surprised that her jaw dropped because Kim SeoJoon could easily handle such a big animal. Easy to put in pocket. After finishing, he put the bag on his belt and exclaimed, it's reduced in weight by 70%, but it's still heavy. Park SeoJoon was still surprised, dumbfounded on the spot. He took out his bag, put on a monster head and put it back on. Kim SeoJoon muttered to himself, it seems to be quite okay. Park SeoJoon was still panicked at the scene before his eyes. She spoke up a bit confused, SeoJoon, can I ask? Park SeoJoon doesn't believe that with this much money he can buy such a good item. The prize money of the contest is, 4 billion is actually $4 billion. Kim SeoJoon denied, no. After hearing the answer, Park SeoJoon happily asked, how did you buy it, where did you buy it? And he was a little scared, sweating, speechless. Kim SeoJoon decided to make up a little, actually, I bought it at the pawn shop for hunters. Park SeoJoon was very excited, her big, sparkling eyes asked, where is the pawn shop for hunters? He said its address. It was a store in a deserted alley near my area, called the Fake Transcendent Store. Park SeoJoon couldn't hide her joy, saying, Fake Transcendent Store, there they sell bags. And this spear is 4 billion stars, she asked, wherever that is, I also want to go. Kim SeoJoon responded helplessly, I can't go now. When I came to buy, the store owner was cleaning up to go on a trip. Park SeoJoon was in a good mood, about to feel down. You don't believe it, but before your eyes is a gentle face, somewhat similar to Kim SeoJoon's exemplary young man. This expression is not lying, right? Park SeoJoon was not happy and spoke up, SeoJoon, saying that. Kim SeoJoon was a bit helpless before the threat. He silently apologized, sorry, SeoJoon, I can't tell you the truth. The two walked a little further and there was a sound. Both of them were alert without understanding anything. Kim SeoJoon reminded her that this place is quite dangerous. In front of the two people was a monster. Park SeoJoon decided to rush forward, she said firmly. Kim SeoJoon advised her to stop. Wait. He asked, I'll try it once first. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, this spear is more powerful than I thought. Kim SeoJoon wondered what kind of power this spear contained to cut the gargoyle like tofu. He prepared his posture, his eyes were determined, if so, I will use a great move to attack the mountain to attack from afar. Kim SeoJoon uses his magic to destroy and cover the world. As he prepared, his eyes gradually became more determined. Kim SeoJoon bowed his head and closed his eyes. He opened his eyes, spoke loudly, and penetrated. After a while, the power that had gathered was quite strong. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, extremely strong. All the monsters looked at the two of them fiercely with red eyes. They were up high watching Kim SeoJoon down below use his spear. He raised his head and looked at them with determined eyes. Kim SeoJoon muttered to himself, attacking with all his might, then he launched the tip of his spear towards the monsters. After finishing, the monsters fell dead on the spot. Park Seo-eun witnessed everything, was a little scared, and exclaimed, "Oh my god." A long and quite deep hole forms on the ground. The holy spear rumored to have pierced Jesus on the cross was the spear of Longinus. Kim SeoJoon didn't expect it to have such great power. He exclaimed, "After all, it's just a fake, I was just going to try it out." Kim SeoJoon remembered the scene that day and clicked his tongue. It was terrible. He also understood the logic. The craftsman could not blame the props, it was all a myth, it was all thanks to the items. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, consulted the article on the community site and bought the necessary equipment. It seemed fine. He looked at his phone, helplessly thinking, in the end money is the problem, cause and effect must be adjusted to buy equipment, especially, on the notification screen, free pass usage time, membership remaining, 25 days. His face wrinkled. Kim SeoJoon silently made up his mind, this time there really were only a few lectures left, he had to try his best in 25 days. As soon as Park Seo-eun walked in, she saw him enthusiastically exercising. She said, "Hey, SeoJoon, I forgot to tell you, you don't care about her." She replied, "What's the matter?" Park Seo-eun said it, Jimin said she wanted to meet once, okay. Kim SeoJoon listened and stood there blankly, he looked at her in confusion. Kim SeoJoon was a bit confused and asked her, "Who is Jimin's sister? Does Seo-eun have sisters?" Park Seo-eun thoughtfully denied, "No, they're just acquaintances." Park Seo-eun thought of another way, if he said he was a demon star disciple, you know. Kim SeoJoon couldn't believe his ears and asked again, demon star disciple. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, he was a disciple accepted when the devil was old, a genius among the geniuses recognized by the devil, much better than him. Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, "In fact, they are called ghosts of the next era." He wondered inexplicably, ghost disciples are only known as sisters. Kim SeoJoon confusedly pointed at himself and asked, "Why did he suddenly meet me?" Park Seo-eun also didn't know, guessing, as if he wanted to ask about what happened last time. Kim SeoJoon calculated in his heart, if it was the last time, then he came because of that mistake. Park Seo-eun helplessly revealed, actually she wanted to meet and tell him at that time, but because he was not well, so I stopped him. He couldn't believe his ears, he wondered, told me, Kim SeoJoon thought of that person. He asked Park Seo-eun, "Wait, maybe that's it." In his mind he had the scene of Park Min-chul angrily throwing water in his face and shouting, "Cunning thief, get away from Seo-eun. I'm out, and you have a hard time explaining, things aren't like that." Park Seo-eun was speechless with this thought. She affirmed, "It's not like that, she didn't do that, you don't need to worry." Kim SeoJoon put his hands on his hands and calmly said, "Okay, I'm fine." Park Seo-eun happily ran out. She excitedly said, "I will contact her and send you the date and time." Outside she texted Jimin, "Nuna." SeoJoon said, "Okay, do you have time?" Park Seo-eun happily said, "It's done." Suddenly someone's voice called out to her, "Seo-eun, I'm here." Park Seo-eun suddenly gasped. She stammered and said, "Sister Jimin." Park Seo-eun said a little helplessly, "You just sent a text message and you're already here?" Jimin didn't pay attention to what he just said, took off his glasses, said, "Allow me, but where are you?" Jimin asked Park Seo-eun, the person he always praised. She was Young Jimin, the demon disciple. Inside the house, Young Jimin couldn't believe his eyes and exclaimed, "It can't be like that." Kim SeoJoon saw her, silently wondering, is she a high school student? And Young Jimin ran to him, saying, "How could that be possible?" Kim SeoJoon was about to say something, but was interrupted by Young Jimin. She stammered and asked him, Where did you get it?" Kim SeoJoon doesn't understand what she's saying. "What are you talking about?" Young Jimin shouted loudly, asking him, "I asked where he got it." Kim SeoJoon was a little angry and asked again, after all, why did she keep talking so blankly? Young Jimin stubbornly crossed his arms, nobly responding, "If you're upset, just say the same thing, brother." A bit annoyed, she asked again, "What?" Park Seo-eun quickly ran to them to reconcile. She quickly hugged Young Jimin. "What's wrong? SeoJoon was just joking." Young Jimin tried to struggle, ask, "Let go, she just wanted to know where he got it." Park Seo-eun shouted loudly. Sister, Kim Seo-joon was a bit surprised with the information he just heard. Sister. After a while, Park Seo-eun spoke up confused. Sorry, it was a surprise, right? If she was curious about something, she wouldn't care about anything. He looked at Young Jimin sitting dejectedly on the chair, guessing her identity. Could it be that person? Park Seo-eun admitted, yes, that's right, it's Ji-min's sister. It's for the devil spirit I talked about earlier. Kim Seo-joon looked expressionless. Are you kidding me? Park Seo-eun replied with a wry smile. Really? Kim Seo-joon asked her in confusion. But what does that look? As far as I know, that person is about 40 years old, but Young Jimin in front of them looks very young. He is sure of his thoughts, clearly already looked it up online. Park Seo-eun explained, she usually changes her appearance a lot. To be exact, she still maintains her appearance as a child. Kim Seo-joon asked in disbelief, is that possible? Young Jimin quickly spoke up to answer his question. It's not like the polymorph changed its shape completely, it just remembered the stored image based on just memories, engraved on the body. She stood up and continued smiling. It wasn't very easy to do. However, Young Jimin also refused to give up and asked, but you, I asked you, where did you get that half-space bag? Kim Seo-joon asked her a little confused, the bag sells space. He also understood and asked again, is this what you mean by kibisis? Young Jimin's eyes were bright as stars. He admitted, wanted to try to touch it, that's right it was it. She said in admiration, how could it be done? If a twisted circuit is created, the space will be twisted as well. Kim Seo-joon asked Park Seo-eun, had she seen it before? She hesitantly replied, no, if I hadn't seen you use it, I wouldn't have known about this space bag. But it's so wonderful. Kim Seo-joon also didn't know how to respond. It's true that it's great, but I don't really know. Young Jimin heard the two people discussing, got angry, shouted loudly, not great, but very terrible, not very scary. She spoke at length. In these small pockets there were 4 magic spirals working at the same time. If it was just clumsy magic then I wouldn't say anything. Expanding the space, reducing the weight, and finally is to preserve images. Oh my god, I can't even analyze this as magic. How is that possible? Above all, what is this bag made of that can withstand 4 pulses? Twisted magic. Kim Seo-joon had a headache after listening to it. Kim Seo-joon silently speculated, if I showed her the Longina spear, made by a craftsman favored by the Sword Saint, how would she react? Hang Vu advised, don't come back here. Young Jimin suggested, sell this to me, I will buy it. Kim Seo-joon replied to her, this is a bit difficult. Young Jimin generously said, don't worry about the price, 50 billion, 60 billion, no, I will pay you 100 billion. Kim Seo-joon said helplessly, it seems like you shouted a bit too loud, sister. Park Seo-eun was also speechless calling her, sister. Young Jimin put his hands on his hands and replied, it's not like I bought it with my money, I didn't say I would give it right away, now I have to go help everywhere. Young Jimin bowed her head slightly but she firmly said, but I can find 100 billion, after all, that space bag is worth more than 100 billion. Kim Seo-joon thought to himself, I've heard of a semi-space bag containing 30% being sold for 30 billion. If it's a kibisis, then 100 billion is not unreasonable. He also trusted Young Jimin. If someone else said it, he wouldn't know, but if it was that person, he would have been able to prepare that amount of money. Looking at Young Jimin looked at him confidently. Kim Seo-joon thought about the benefits of selling this. With 100 billion I can buy back kibisis and personal lectures, everything I'm worried about will be solved. After a while, Kim Seo-joon sadly said, I can't sell this. Park Seo-eun asked him a little surprised, why? I heard you need money, and Young Jimin couldn't believe his ears, panicked and asked why. She's still not willing, why? I think a valuation of 100 billion is fine. Kim Seo-joon sighed helplessly, put the bag in front of her, she tried it. But when he touched the bag, Young Jimin was shocked by an electric current. Young Jimin panicked and dropped the bag on the ground. Young Jimin rubbed his wrist, stammering, Kim Seo-joon bent down to pick up the bag, explaining, you see, besides me, no one can use it. The system displays a notification that this product is produced by admitted students for juniors, so it is strictly forbidden to sell it a second time. He picked up the bag and said, no one but me can touch it, let alone resell it. Kim Seo-joon thought that saying that would make her give up, wondering if she had given up this time. Young Jimin still didn't give up, her eyes were bright like stars, excitedly approaching, her tone was confused, and can be engraved on it too, so it's not 4 magic circuits but 5 circuits. What a masterpiece. Young Jimin still didn't give up, asked where he bought it, where did he buy it, who bought it? Sell it to you. Young Jimin shouted a high price so that Kim SeoJoon would tell her where to buy it. I will give you another billion, you tell me? Park Seo-eun cried without tears, screaming in vain, please calm down. After listening to Kim SeoJoon's explanation for a while, she also understood. So, you bought it at a store near your house, don't remember who sold it, the store also disappeared. Young Jimin looked regretful. Sorry. Really, but her face was full of doubts, suspicions. Kim SeoJoon silently assessed. The solution was more neat than he thought. He secretly thought of old Park Min-chul. Unlike anyone else, he would be irritable. Shout, hey that thief. After a while, Young Jimin thought of another plan, so let me research it. Kim SeoJoon asked in confusion, research? Young Jimin said again, that's right, research, even if it gets engraved, I still can't use it, just let me test something, of course I will send money, not 100 billion. This statement made Kim SeoJoon a bit surprised. He wondered, what about this case? The ownership still lies with me, so it will be okay, right? If someone else uses it, it will react with rejection and sparks. What if it doesn't transfer ownership, but simply helps with research? Kim SeoJoon also benefits. Thanks to that, he also gets money. He covered his mouth with his hand. Young Jimin clasped his hands together and looked at him with sparkling eyes. Kim SeoJoon silently calculated, how is cause and effect applied to this? After a moment of psychological struggle, Kim SeoJoon decided to agree with Young Jimin. Okay, if you give me money, I will help you research. And Young Jimin, when he heard this information, jumped up excitedly. Like a child. Kim SeoJoon suggested, let's start testing. Young Jimin heard that, refused and explained, not now, there is no research equipment here. I will invite you to the research institute later, now I have work now so I don't have time. Only then did Young Jimin remember the reason he came here, blaming himself, oh my mind, I came here for that. Kim SeoJoon also knew the reason she came but still asked to make sure. She said, is that what's wrong? Young Jimin crossed his arms and admitted, yes, I wanted to hear clearly what happened at that time. The three of them were in the room to discuss. After listening to Kim SeoJoon's story, Young Jimin also understood. The Nurskura was already in the first picture, but luckily the magic index could not be detected due to being infected. More hesitantly, Kim SeoJoon replied, yes. Young Jimin still had doubts, picked up the glass of water and asked him, how did he catch Nurskura? Kim SeoJoon smiled and replied, because I'm lucky. Young Jimin had a bit of a hard time believing it. He asked again, luck, catching a level 6 monster because of luck. If it couldn't fix the error from the beginning, it wouldn't be possible to scratch its skin. Kim SeoJoon still didn't intend to tell the truth. Honestly, it's all about luck. He secretly remembered that day of battle. It was actually impossible to use physical strength to fight Nurskura. If it weren't for Merlin's mana, I would be right now. Kim SeoJoon realized something. Oh, wait. He thought to himself, clearly in Merlin's lecture that I heard before. Kim SeoJoon had a question that needed Young Jimin to explain. He asked her, Sister Jimin, a bit remissly, but could I ask for your opinion on this? Young Jimin looked at him with strange eyes, indifferently asking, what is your opinion? Kim SeoJoon spoke out a bunch of doubts in his heart. Magic and aura are both derivatives of mana. How to use mana. The problem is how personal will can be related to the rule of law. The world's laws. Young Jimin still doesn't understand the point. So, Kim SeoJoon asked her, isn't it the same as the dungeon's fault? Young Jimin widened his eyes when he heard him say that. She stood up and slammed the table, asking him to explain more clearly. Kim SeoJoon was a bit flustered by such an action. He explained again, assuming magic and aura were considered errors that occurred due to the abuse of mana, then the error of the dungeon was similar, right? Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, Merlin often talked about how to breaking the laws of the world, and personal will in lectures using Nana. You're very smart to think like that, if you relate the current situation and the content of that lecture. Kim SeoJoon continued to say, the tunnel's error was actually a phenomenon that occurred due to someone's will. He silently affirmed his own thoughts. After all, the dungeon's unusual errors did not happen naturally, but were due to personal will. Seeing that Young Jimin did not react, Kim SeoJoon secretly sweat dropped and smiled wryly. He felt that doing so was quite meaningless. He was working in front of a genius demon scholar, showing an axe to the eye of a craftsman. Kim SeoJoon awkwardly scratched the back of his neck. I'm just listening for fun, but he didn't notice Young Jimin's face gradually turned black. She asked in a cold voice, who are you? Kim SeoJoon was a bit confused about spraying glue in place. Young Jimin still had a cold voice and asked, I asked who you are you a magic scholar? Kim SeoJoon denied, no, you see, I'm just someone who wants to become a superior hunter. Young Jimin loudly asked for an explanation. Then explain what that is. No, wait, the rules of the world. How do you distinguish between magic and horror? Kim SeoJoon cried without tears. Not my thoughts but Merlin's. Young Jimin didn't know why. His fear was obvious. He spoke up, his pocket selling space. She studied his expression, asking, did you create it? Young Jimin thought to himself, an ordinary transcendent hunter turned out to be a genius magic scholar. Her words made the other two stunned on the spot. He was speechless and said, suddenly. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, what are you saying again? Young Jimin excitedly took out his notebook to take notes, asking for more knowledge. How did such a thing happen? Kim SeoJoon couldn't see those sparkling eyes. He silently sighed. I only relied on my thoughts, based on the knowledge I learned from Merlin, but I didn't expect such a violent reaction. Kim SeoJoon thought gloomily, relax, I don't know. Young Jimin still has a studious look, so the next problem is related to the origin of mana and horror. Kim SeoJoon finds it reasonable and correct, from any aspect, that the lectures of the Transcension Academy are of course for transcendent people. It is knowledge that goes beyond common thinking and knowledge. Usually, he is quite helpless with the studious person in front of him. He thought to himself, after all, I only aspire to become a normal hunter. With the shallow amount of knowledge I have, I don't know if it's okay. Sitting like this feels like I'm taking a class. Teaches like that, but Kim SeoJoon doesn't think that's wrong. He suddenly realized something. He silently pondered, if his daughter was a reward, if he received tuition from teaching others, what should he do? Now the brain is working at full capacity. Kim SeoJoon secretly speculated, of course Kibisis only lends the essence of the object, but, this is to share his knowledge, that can also be considered selling. Unlike the store's equipment for transcendent people, is there a high chance that the knowledge that I try to impart will be applied for other purposes? Kim SeoJoon is still pensive and seriously thinking. To do that, he must not simply follow what he hears in the lectures, but must understand, and apply, the content in the lesson. Teaching yourself and teaching it to others is not an easy thing at all. He thought about who would learn, most of all, who would learn those things from someone who is still a student like him. Young Jimin was serious, making a sound, She helplessly said, as for the concept of magic, I still don't understand it very well. Kim SeoJoon also understood. He was sure of his thoughts. Look, it is indeed a curriculum with a high rate. 17.9%, then there is no need for any other option. Young Jimin jumped up and said, even though this is the first time I've heard of this, it must also be an unpredictable idea. This must be studied more carefully. She left immediately. Park Seo-yoon was a bit surprised. I just bought food and already left. Young Jimin didn't care at all, waved his hand. Just leave it there. When you're done, you have to go. Young Jimin happily told him, later I will invite you to the lab. Park Seo-yoon was a bit sad, muttering to herself, let's eat before going, the bread is already in the bag. Kim SeoJoon evaluates Young Jimin in real life. She is a special person very different from the images of her that I have seen in the media. As soon as he stepped out, Young Jimin was like a child, excitedly muttering to himself, I have to go to the research room quickly. Park Seo-yoon happily continued his words, so, I've heard a lot of people say that, so sometimes I also want to know if I'm the next demon. Kim SeoJoon smiled, thinking to himself, thinking back, he saw that the disciples of the Sword Star, Kalia and even the Demon Star were all very difficult people to meet, yet he met all three. Park Seo-yoon put the bag of food on the table. She suggested, so let's eat this, give me the Pikachu sticker. Kim SeoJoon spoke up, thank you. Kim SeoJoon ate and sighed helplessly. If he keeps like this, maybe in the future a great sound will find him. He closed his eyes, sweating a little. Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, the success rate is still too low. The system displays a notification, the rate of teaching Chiron plus 0.7%, the rate of teaching in Shakyamuni plus 0.1%, the rate of teaching in Wu, rate of conducting teaching about Merlin. Kim SeoJoon muttered to himself, thanks to Kibisus's increased efficiency, he could complete the tests quickly, but if he used the remaining time to complete the course, it wouldn't be enough. He remembered when I was enthusiastic about practicing. Kim SeoJoon silently made up his mind, before the free pass ended, I wanted to complete one more course. Kim SeoJoon was helpless to think of another plan. There was no other way but to earn money to top up the free pass and increase the teaching progress. Then Kim SeoJoon pushed open the door and entered Park Seo-yoon's room, said, Seo-yoon, I want to ask you something. She was thinking about something, replied, what? Park Seo-yoon said before, if there are new students, I cannot teach them all by myself, and will have to hire another lecturer. Kim SeoJoon was a bit speechless and called her SeoJoon. However, Park SeoJoon still didn't pay attention to him. She kept talking endlessly, but not everyone can be invited to participate in teaching. How much do I have to pay them? Sigh, I have to run the system again. Star system. Kim SeoJoon walked in and called her name again, SeoJoon. Park SeoJoon was a bit startled. To avoid being embarrassed, she quickly responded, yeah, it's me. Park SeoJoon was a bit confused and asked in a low voice, did you call me? Kim SeoJoon also spoke the truth, what are you thinking about? I called several times but didn't see any response from you. Park SeoJoon quickly spoke up to explain that, actually, I was planning to recruit a new student, but there were so many problems that I was a bit worried. Kim SeoJoon sympathized, so, just like her, I'm also worried about a lot of things. Park SeoJoon then remembered the point and asked him, but why are you looking for me? Kim SeoJoon explained the reason for coming here. Oh, it's nothing, I just wanted to ask, there's a competition coming up. No, competitions like the one at the academy last time, or competitions like clearing dungeons, have recently taken place. Kim SeoJoon offered to help me check if anything happened before the 20th. Park SeoJoon quickly took out her phone and muttered to herself, the 20th, around the 20th. After a moment of investigation, Park SeoJoon said, no. Kim SeoJoon was also a bit surprised and asked again, oh, it's okay. Park SeoJoon added to confirm his own words, yes, next month there will be a trial competition held at Hunter Mill. Kim SeoJoon was not very excited, asked again, took the trial test. Mock exam, as the name suggests, is not an exam but a simulation of an exam. The professional hunter exam is only held once a year. If you fail, you have to wait another year, so the pressure of this exam is very great. Therefore, hunter training academies will create simulation competitions for students to practice in advance. The 3 leading academies in Korea are Hunter Mill, Ale, and Gaon. At these 3 academies, every student can register to take the test, so the scale of the test is very large. The scores that the students achieved in the mock exam were mostly equal to the scores achieved in the professional hunter exam. Kim SeoJoon secretly thought that with a large number of students participating, the amount of scholarship money for the top students would also be very large. This is also a way to solve the problem of teaching and learning ratio. Money. He secretly thought about the future. If it was next month, wouldn't that also be the time when the free pass would end? Kim SeoJoon scratched his head and reluctantly said, there is no other way. Kim SeoJoon silently calculated that he would have to try it first until then. In the evening, he sat and listened to the lecture. This technique is not perfect. At any time, it can be disturbed and make mistakes. As the situation changes, the technique changes accordingly. It must be remembered, intuition can exist independently of its own principles. Kim SeoJoon muttered to himself, I have never doubted this, the transcendent person is truly extremely talented. The lecturer's voice rang out, wait, the mock exam of the transcendent people is getting closer. But I want myself not to be too obsessed with the results of this exam. No matter where the mock exam takes place, it's just a mock exam, so you have to pay more attention during the lecture. Kim SeoJoon wondered, did I hear wrong? He couldn't believe his ears, the exams of transcendent people also had mock exams. The system displays a notification, mock exams of superior people, that is the special secret of transcendent students accumulated over hundreds of years, perfect analysis of old exam questions from each year for each subject. Study, with answers and video instructions to solve difficult problems. Kim SeoJoon seemed to be enlightened to a new horizon, wondering, is it really an exam for transcendent people, including a certificate? That means there is some standard to pass an exam like the exam of Kim SeoJoon Professional Hunter and have someone rate these. He rubbed his chin and suddenly realized that when he thought about it, it was the first time he saw this advertisement. Passing this exam was like achieving level 5 Vu Hoa Len Tien, or level 9 swordsman. Kim SeoJoon remembers that time, he felt a bit regretful, at that time I just thought they said that for fun, it turned out it was true. Kim SeoJoon scratched his head, but now I have no reason to participate in the super test, I know my own ability, from the beginning I don't have enough ability to participate. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, while watching, I should increase the video's lecture speed. Hang Vu continued, you are getting closer and closer to the mock exam, right? If so, why don't you think about registering to take the test once? He vaguely said, if you just let yourself go and be proud of it now, then oh my god, you guys are just a bunch of trash. Even if I say it 100 times, you still won't listen, so please register for the exam once and let me experience firsthand how trash you guys are. Kim SeoJoon was a bit confused and froze on the spot. He was confused and wondered, what the heck? Kim SeoJoon couldn't believe his eyes, muttering, isn't this video? I don't remember which video I watched. It mentioned that Chiron and Vu appeared at the same time in the mock exam. Kim SeoJoon speculated, could it be Shakyamuni and Merlin? Even Shakyamuni said, the mock exam is near, so is Merlin, don't be too obsessed with the exam results. Kim SeoJoon finally realized, this was also related to the mock exam. Kim SeoJoon fell onto the bed and reluctantly said, the Academy of the Transcendent is not just one or two strange things. He held his phone in front of his face, wondering, no, is the mock exam really that important? He was quite confused and didn't know how to handle it, wondering if he should see what people said about this exam. Kim SeoJoon opened the forum and announced post-production. He had to wait until the super approval test to take place. He glanced at the post of the person who wrote his name. After being in debt, he became a creditor. That person wrote, hello everyone, hello beginners, you must have worked very hard to prepare for the super exam, right? When I heard it, I felt it was very difficult, but when I experienced it, I realized it wasn't as I thought it was. When I heard it, I felt it was very difficult, but when I experienced it, I realized it wasn't as I thought it was, even though now I've entered the 10th year of the exam, but I still don't see the path I have to turn on to go in the right direction. That's why I intended to take the mock exam, but I'm wondering if I should look forward too much to this exam. Actually, even though it's a bit embarrassing, I know that my strength is not enough to register for the exam of transcendent people. My situation is I'm currently listening to the introductory lecture. I'm still wondering if I need to take the mock exam this time. I also want to ask my seniors, but there's no one around me like me. So to ask, I think I must ask someone for their opinion, but the more I ask, the more confused I become because each person gives a different opinion. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, the situation is similar to mine. Kim SeoJoon scrolled through the comments below the article. Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, sure enough, after achieving it and looking back, it felt normal. Kim SeoJoon's eyes suddenly lit up. You read the comment of the person named, the ruler of the forest, I want to recommend something for everyone to watch, because you are just starting out so your results will be very bad, but on the contrary, you are just starting out. So you can improve by learning speed. Kim SeoJoon was confused and wondered if he could increase his training speed sharply. He silently made up his mind to try it once and see if it worked. The next morning, Kim SeoJoon already held the spear and stood in front of the room. A notification pops up on the phone, mock exams of transcendent people, that is the special secret of transcendent students, accumulated over hundreds of years, perfectly analyzing old exam questions each year according to each subject. Comes with answers and video instructions for solving problems that are difficult to calculate the participation rate and is analyzing the appropriate registration cost for each user. The system asks, do you want to register for the super test? The first participation is free. Kim SeoJoon just realized, muttered, working for free for the first time. He was a bit confused, shouted loudly, it's free for the first time. If I register now, it's a shame. I have to save money. Kim SeoJoon thought, if I save now, I'll just throw it away. He chose the answer to the last question, agreeing. When the system asks, choose the profession you want, Kim SeoJoon did not choose or earn. Doctor. System requirements, please select target level, you choose, level 9 swordsman, let's go. The notification system is running, giving questions for the practice exam, please wait a moment. After a while it was completed. The system introduces the topic, this is a question based on the database of questions that have appeared in the official exam. The difficulty is based on the standard difficulty of the official exam and does not reflect students' individual learning results. A total of 7 exam subjects. Scores are distributed based on the difficulty of each question and each item. Mock exams are just mock exams. Mock exams may vary with actual period. The system displays a notification. The first test, combat ability, question 1, please give the correct answer to the problems, will be conducted in the following 15 stages. Kim SeoJoon was a bit surprised by the information he just heard. He didn't believe it, looked around, what, let's start right away, Kim SeoJoon wondered, right here. Kim SeoJoon was sweating profusely, not understanding how the exam worked this way. There are a total of 15 stages. If based on the standards of a transcendent person, is the first stage level 5 or level 6? Which level monster will appear? Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, if stage 1 is level 5, each stage increases by 1 level, then stage 15 will be level 20 stars. Kim SeoJoon silently speculated, if so, it's a level 20 monster. Suddenly a black hole appeared above his head. Kim SeoJoon puzzledly wondered, what is it? A phone jumped out, a monster in phase 1 of the mock exam. Kim SeoJoon was very determined and took a fighting stance. The creature grew bigger. Kim SeoJoon's exclamation became louder and louder. He was quite shocked by the creature standing in front of him. I couldn't believe my eyes. I wondered, does it continue to grow? Does it continue to grow? Kim SeoJoon stammered and said, dragon, dragon. In front of him is a very terrible dragon. The system gives the problem, level 1, destroy, far near the dragon of destruction, within a time limit of 30 minutes. Kim SeoJoon is still very optimistic, smiling wryly, maybe it's not true, don't be so crazy. The huge dragon was about to attack him. Kim SeoJoon couldn't believe his eyes and exclaimed in panic, oh my god, what the hell, hey, wait a minute, wait, stop here, I told you to stop. It quickly spit out flames and attacked him. Kim SeoJoon couldn't stop him in time. He could only exclaim, I'm going crazy. Warning system, Stage 1, failed, remaining time 29 minutes 58 seconds. Kim SeoJoon couldn't believe his eyes and stood there, wondering, He lay down on the ground and rolled over, scratching his head, feeling so tired. Kim SeoJoon got angry and exclaimed that he was so crazy, saying how could I arrest him? He thought to himself, it's only stage 1, not stage 10, it's only stage 1, and the monster used to measure combat power is already a dragon, not a normal dragon, but the dragon destroying far near. Remembering that ferocious dragon, Kim SeoJoon panicked a bit and slammed his hand on the floor. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, really, stage 1 is Fafnir, then stage 15 will definitely fight with God. He wondered, could the fake transcendents defeat even the gods? No, could the fake transcendents even pretend to be gods? Remembering the god, Hercules, who can lift 500 kilograms weights, Zeus, starting to get sore, Buddha, handsome Buddha. Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, there are also ordinary people who claim to be successful, it's so embarrassing. Kim SeoJoon bowed his head, took a deep breath. He sat there gloomily, what should he do now? He thought the whole building was about to collapse but it was still normal, Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, except for him, other places were not affected, fortunately. He picked up the phone and muttered to himself, after all, there was still one lucky thing left. Kim SeoJoon looked at his phone, there were 10 chances after the first time, the system asked, do you want to take the test again, remaining chances, 10 times. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, just trying 10 times won't make any big difference, but, then he picked up his spear. Kim SeoJoon confidently challenges, come, let's see if you win, or I win. But the next few times failed, the system kept warning, Phase 1, failure, remaining time, 29 minutes 57 seconds, Phase 1, failure, remaining time 29 minute 54 seconds, Phase 1, failure, time remaining 29 minutes 59 seconds, Phase 1, failure, remaining time, 29 minutes 53 seconds, Phase 1, failed, time remaining 29 minutes and 56 seconds. After 5 tries, it's still not possible, the system asks again, do you want to take the test again, the remaining chance, 5 times. Kim SeoJoon no longer had hope, trying to force a smile, he thought to himself, he couldn't win. Kim SeoJoon continued to roll back and forth on the ground, complaining, too tired, he shouted loudly, releasing his frustration, can't do it, how can I catch it? Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, so crazy. He sat sullenly on the bench, drinking a can of water, calming himself down. The pro hunter was still confused, so what is fake transcendence? Kim SeoJoon muttered to himself, even if he wanted to speed up the lecture, it would be better. Have to do something, but before doing something, it's already over, so there's no way to speed up the lecture. Kim SeoJoon still couldn't stop feeling sad. Now even if he cancels, he can't change to something else. Suddenly, a notification appeared on his phone. The system asks, do you want to listen to the tutorial lecture for this task? If you listen to the tutorial lecture, your evaluation points will be deducted. Kim SeoJoon wondered in confusion, the lecture gave instructions. He quickly picked up the phone, held it close to his face, and speculated that maybe he would show him some ways to attack. Instructional lecture, the more difficult it is, the simpler it is. Lecturer, Shi Tian Great Saint, analyzing the characteristics of Fafnir. Lecturer, Sigurd, avoid, don't avoid, fight away. Lecturer, 4 divine beasts Azure Dragon. Kim SeoJoon was surprised and exclaimed, is there even Shi Tian Great Saint, Shi Tian Great Saint Venerable? Kim SeoJoon pondered, maybe he could learn something else from the lecture. Then he decided to listen to the lecture of the great Saint Shi Tian. On the phone, Shi Tian Dai Tan lectured, the problem of this Phase 1 mock exam is the Dragon Destroyer Fafnir, right? He smiled brightly and continued, I don't know if this problem also evaluates judgment ability or not, but to say it's difficult, it's a bit difficult, but after thinking about it, you'll see it's not that difficult. He is the one who defeated Buddha, the great Saint Chi Tian. Great Saint Chi Tian continued to preach. Many students were very worried, because of the way it struck, its first breath. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, it's been a long time since I've seen Sun Wukong. The first time I saw him, I laughed out loud, because I thought this was just a stupid monkey. Very quickly, the great Saint Quaishan finished his lecture. He said the last word, which was all about Fafnir, other than that there was nothing special. In short, just avoid its breath attack. Then the great Saint Chi Tian decided to snap his fingers and pose for Kim SeoJoon to see. Look. He summoned Fafnir behind him. The dragon opened its mouth wide, intending to attack him, and the great saint preached, don't think about it, it will be full of breath. If you can do it, that's fine. It's not necessary anyway. His eyes are full of murderous intent. Just avoid it. When the dragon unleashes its power. Great Saint Chi Tian put his hands behind his back and continued speaking very leisurely. After taking a breath, Fafnir would not be able to punish him for a while. He concluded that it was just a lizard. Great Saint Chi Tian answered himself, and then what? His eyes gradually became cunning. He continued, simply, just one blow and it was over. Great Saint Chi Tian used a move, and the Tian Naguyat meteor suddenly fell first. The meteor descends. That attack is very powerful. The dragon was quickly dealt with. Kim SeoJoon was speechless when he asked, simple, right? Even if we further evaluate judgment ability, this is only stage 1. He left a sentence and then disappeared. The more difficult it is, the simpler it is. Okay, here I go. Leaving Kim SeoJoon with a big question mark. Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, it's so easy. He scratched his head, unable to believe it, wondering if this was really a tutorial lecture. Did he know what a tutorial was, or was it the concept of guidance, for the fake Transcendental Academy, different? With normal. Kim SeoJoon thought of another plan, maybe he was crazy, oh wait. He chose to listen to the instruction lecture, avoid, don't avoid, fight, lecturer, the 4 dragon divine beasts. Several dragon beasts appeared and taught Kim SeoJoon after listening. He was like a duck listening to thunder. Kim SeoJoon helplessly huddled in one place, telling me to watch and then follow. Kim SeoJoon raised his head and muttered helplessly, how could he do that? But I'm still a bit regretful, I accidentally used the precious free rights, watching it until now, it would be a shame to give up. Kim SeoJoon's attention fell on the lecture, analyzing the characteristics of Fafnir, lecturer, Sigurd. I wonder, Sigurd. Sigurd is a hero in Lord of the Rings, Norse mythology. Both the owner of the famous Balmung sword and the first dragon slayer. When called Dragon Slayer, the dragon that slashed that day was Dragon of Destruction Fafnir. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, what is the title of the lecture? Surely, this is the person who understands Fafnir the best. He speculated, maybe that day was also the one who raised this issue. Kim SeoJoon silently made up his mind, if this lecture is too strange then it's okay to skip it. Sigurd lectures, as you know about Fafnir, breathing is its key point. Therefore, the focus of this problem depends on whether you can avoid its breath or not. This person with white hair and a frowning face is Sigurd, the Dragon Slayer. He continued to explain, just avoid its breath, that's the whole way to fight. Kim SeoJoon was completely disappointed. He made up his mind, this song is also a waste of time, let's turn it off. However, before he could turn it off, Sigurd continued to speak, but after listening to the lecture, it is not easy to do it, right? So I will analyze the characteristics of Fafnir, and show you 2 strategies. Sigurd raised his finger, explaining, the first thing, Fafnir spits breath when summoned. If you press the summon button and then run. He told the principle of its operation, but this dragon still spit its breath in that direction. That is the key, but even though you know it, avoiding it is not simple. Kim SeoJoon seriously listened to the lecture. Sigurd continued, there will be many students who will find avoiding that attack very difficult, so I will show these students 2 strategies, listen carefully. Sigurd smiled and continued, prepare a block of gold. Kim SeoJoon couldn't believe his ears and asked again, huh? After that, he quickly went to the votive store to buy exactly what Sigurd requested, thank you. After stepping out, in his hand he held a shiny piece of gold. Kim SeoJoon didn't really believe whether using this would really work. Returning to the old place, Sigurd said, prepare a block of gold. He explained the reason, in fact, he was turned into a dragon, because he was blinded by gold, and was a person with bottomless greed. It doesn't have to be real gold, Just prepare an object that resembles gold. Right when summoning, throw the gold block in front of Fafnir's eyes. Sigurd waved his hand, smiling brightly. He wouldn't spit the first time. Why? If he spits, the gold will disappear. Sigurd seemed to understand some people's thoughts. What? Thinking that this was not a solution using strength. He crossed his arms, smiled as if not smiling and continued, knowing what to do. Whether it was a matter of strength or trickery, there was still a way to solve it. Sigurd said the last word before ending the lecture. Anyway, that's all I've said here. If you're wondering how to fight other dragons, then listen to my dragon slaying sword technique lecture. In that lecture I will tell stories about dragon hunting in the past. Kim SeoJoon stood there looking at his phone. He thought to himself, no matter what, there was no loss. The system pops up again. Do you want to retake the test? There are remaining chances, 5 times. Kim SeoJoon chooses and summons. The ferocious dragon appeared before him again. It was about to spit again. Kim SeoJoon realized this was the time to, at that moment, throw the block of gold in front of his eyes. Thinking about it, Kim SeoJoon quickly threw the gold block in front of Fafnir's eyes. The shining piece of gold rushed towards the dragon, who immediately stopped spitting. The golden block dazzled its eyes. The dragon's eyes were always directed towards the direction of the golden block, not paying attention to Kim SeoJoon who was next to it. The dragon excitedly chased after the block of gold. Kim SeoJoon naively thought, successfully avoided the dragon's breath. When the dragon caught the block of gold, he was disappointed and gilded with gold. Fafnir turned his head, angry at being pranked. It became even more fierce. It quickly rushed to attack Kim SeoJoon. He exclaimed in fear, so crazy. He remembered what the great Saint Chitian said and wondered what he looked like, calling it a lizard. The dragon madly attacked him. The system reports, Phase 1, failure, remaining time is 28 minutes 56 seconds, but this time it took a little longer. The phone announced again, do you want to retake the exam? There are only 4 chances left, Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, it's only been 1 minute of making trouble. Kim SeoJoon widened his eyes and wondered, how could he catch him? The phone notified again. Chiron's lecture progress and notification system plus 3.1. Kim SeoJoon wondered, given the progress of the lecture, should I make a whole set of armor out of gold? Kim SeoJoon jumped above the dragon. He jumped and landed at its feet. Hey! Kim SeoJoon tried to avoid the dragon's attack. He then ran away to avoid the dragon's spitting attack. Kim SeoJoon thought to himself, damn, even dodging the attack was difficult. He chose time as a gap between attacks to counterattack. While you're behind the dragon, prepare to hit it with your spear. Kim SeoJoon feels bad, broken. He reached into his pocket, thinking to himself, it's too late to avoid it. Kim SeoJoon pulled out the block of gold and threw it at the dinosaur. He decided to live and die with it, if so. The dragon waved its tail. Kim SeoJoon quickly ran away to avoid the attack. He silently exclaimed, phew, he almost died. The dragon fell to the ground, and Kim SeoJoon also fell out of breath. It suddenly jumped up and roared. Kim SeoJoon wondered, this time he also got angry because of gold. He picked up the spear, made a decision, then Kim SeoJoon threw out a pile of gold that dazzled the dragon's eyes. He asked, what about this pile? The dragon widened his eyes, wondering, When it was just paying attention, it raised its head to look at the gold blocks. Kim SeoJoon quickly used spears, mountain force, and strength taken from mountains. He jumped on its head to prepare to attack. The atmosphere descends, the atmosphere covers the whole world. Kim SeoJoon's face turned cold and he decisively stabbed the spear down. The spear prepares to release its power. Piercing through, a huge stream of power shot out, shooting towards the dragon. Kim SeoJoon jumped on it, stabbing directly. The dragon screamed in pain. After finishing, Kim SeoJoon happily exclaimed, okay, it hit the spot. He looked down at the dragon, everyone, then it turned its head to look at Kim SeoJoon like an idiot. Being stared at by a pair of eyes, Kim SeoJoon exclaimed, it's so cold. Then the dragon quickly sent him flying away. The system shows up, warning, Phase 1, failure, remaining time, 24 minutes 32 seconds.